we are gonna go live.
10 minutes. Keep him quiet.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna go now, and then you'll see people joining because it's gonna take a minute.
All
So
right.
I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
So just welcome everybody.
Is it on now? Yeah. No, I don't even see the.
I gotta change my screen real quick.
Is it live?
It's live, yeah.
Oh, why can't I find it?
I don't know. It should be. Yeah, we're live. We have 20 people watching. Right?
I don't see it.
Oh no.
Someone else is live though.
And who might that be?
Who do you think? Yeah, I keep refreshing and I don't see anything.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
It says we have 13 watching. Hey.
That is so weird.
Hi, Sulfur Music. Well, everyone's in here.
Oh my God, and I can't even get it up.
Hi, Anne.
I can't see chat at all. I can't even get it on my YouTube. And I just went in and out like 3 times.
What?
Yeah.
Hi, Mari. Hi, Donnie.
Okay, here we are. Now it came up.
Hi, Janine. Hi, Tracy. Seabreeze. Yeah, reboot your phone. Oh, you can't because you're on Zoom. Hi, Rosalind.
It came up.
Hey, Steph. Does it say Friday night, no rules?
Yes, it does.
Okay, all right, so that worked. Okay,
But
Melissa.
Up.
Oh, I gotta take those down. Melissa is taking over J is for Justice for a few minutes.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness, she's gonna have a heart attack. You guys keep her occupied with lots of comments.
Yes, comment. Because I don't know what to talk about.
If you guys just watched the last live, maybe we can talk about that a little bit. You know, kind of theories or things that came up in the chat. It's pretty crazy. We had someone come in and say, hey, I've seen them.
Someone just said that crazy chick is live.
Oh, that's who's live. Oh, yeah. And I'm sure she's talking about someone, and that's why people are watching, because, well, she does. But she's sorry. She's sorry. You don't say you're sorry and then keep doing the same shit. Like, if you're sorry, and you learn from your mistake of, you know, hurting someone or doing something. And you know what?
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay, Melissa, let's talk about all these crazy. I didn't hear there's a woman. What?
Wait, what?
Oh, where the comment? Oh my God, my comments just disappeared. There was a woman who took her 3 children with her. My comments disappeared. I have to reboot. Talking about family annihilators.
The woman took 3 children with her. Who?
Where'd my comments go?
Murder, suicide. Oh my God. Was that in Texas? Jesus. All right. I'm going to put up the Zoom number when I get back. Right?
Yeah, she was at the end of her divorce proceedings and she killed herself and her 3 children. Saw this on Daily Mail. It was very sad to see a woman doing this to her children. Wow. Yeah, usually you don't hear women doing that. Well, I guess so.
It happens more than you think, though. I mean, think about the
Susan
famous...
Smith.
Yeah. Susan Smith. We had Andrea Yates.
Oh yes, that was the one in the bathtub,
Yes,
right?
that was
Yes.
that was really bad. Oh, hello, Mr. Aiden.
No, it's Miss Ava.
Oh, hi, Miss Ava.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to put the Zoom number up. So if you want to call from a phone number, like from a phone and call, you can call this number I'm going to put up, and then you put the meeting ID in. If you have the Zoom app, like Will must be out of minutes, so he needs to use the app. But the app is actually easier. You could just enter the meeting number. You just click join meeting and you put the meeting ID number in. So there's 2 ways to call in on Zoom. And if you have any more questions, we'll answer them. So there's that.
No.
Oh
my gosh.
Oh, they're fine. They're fine. Good chat. This is a fun live. This is a...
Let's see if Aiden will talk.
All right, well, I'm gonna be right back, so I'm gonna leave the floor to you. And Aiden.
Hi.
Say hi, everyone.
Hi, Anima.
Hi, Aiden. How are you? How are you, cutie pie?
What?
You're what?
What?
Tell them what you were for Halloween.
I will Halloween.
What were you for Halloween?
I will down there.
Were you a Teletubby for Halloween?
No. I will down there.
Spider-Man?
I think you were a red Teletubby. I think I saw you, Aiden.
No.
No. You were Superman or Spider-Man?
Down there.
Spider-Man. Did you dress up at school too?
Yes.
Was that fun?
Yes.
Did you
bet.
get lots of candy?
Yes. I mean, no.
No?
I mean, yes, I got chips.
You got chips?
Yes, I got so many chips. And I got a red candy.
And less candy.
Yes. The candy, the red.
Oh, sorry, Will. He was about to go live.
Whoa.
Why are they saying there's no sound? All right, I'll be back in just a second.
Okay. Someone comment and say something. Oh my God, you want Aiden to sing? I don't know what he'll sing though. Let's see if he'll sing. Aiden, can you sing? Sing a song.
I don't know the song.
You don't know? You don't know any songs?
The battle racer.
Pick a different song.
At the table, you table at the bar. I can know more about the whole thing. So that is the chair.
Oh God, Shaw, I would never sing. I don't know if is Will gonna call in or is he gonna go live? Quilts and crimes, I do not know that answer. I tend to stay away from the YouTube drama, so I don't know who is who or who's fighting or anything like that. God, it's so weird to talk to yourself. I'm talking to myself.
Can I go, Mama? Yeah, me too.
There's background music? Oh,
Oh, that's yes.
yes, Michelle, call in. Call in. Sid, call in. Shell, call in. Cobb, you and Billy call in.
I'll get the cup and downstairs to get orange juice.
Hello?
Hello,
Who do we have on the line?
Sid.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
You're welcome.
Oh,
I felt bad. I'm like, she's just sitting there.
I know, and no one's really saying anything.
What's going on in chat?
Nothing really. I would call in, but I'm soaking in the tub now. I'll be ready to call in about 20 minutes if you still want us to call in. Stephanie R. I want to be soaking in the bath.
Hey, Melissa.
Yeah.
Did you see where Jay posted on that she's going to be going live about something about Chris Watts wanting another baby?
Oh, I did see something with the girl, right?
Yeah, that Anna or someone.
Yes,
I don't know.
I see that. I think someone said that over on someone else's channel. That's where it started.
Do you think it's true?
Honestly, I don't know because anything is possible, I guess. And at this point, I mean, who knows what you can believe or not. But I mean, he can't in Wisconsin. I don't think there's conjugal visits. So I don't know how that would be possible.
I don't know either. When I was reading the comments, I saw that someone said they could put his sperm in a cup. I'm like, how does that even work?
Oh, in vitro? I think that's in vitro.
All right, hey, I gotta get off real quick. My husband's laughing and distracting me.
Oh, God. Thanks, Craig. Oh, no, I'm on here by myself.
You should have people type in questions they want answered.
Yeah, no one is. Where did like Shell go and Michelle? They need to call in.
Let Pepper call in.
Is Prepper in the chat?
Yes, Prepper is in the chat.
Tell his ass to call in.
Prepper, call in. Hint, hint. I'd like some of you mods here to head on over to one of Mr. Reich's lives, as I'd happily recruit ya. I'll say all but Jay might what my arse.
What?
True helper. Hi, hello, Starlight.
Oh, no, he said, hint, hint, I'd like some of you mods to come over to Mr. Reich's lives. I'd happily recruit ya to be a mod. You guys are badass.
Yes, anyone can call in. Mel, Vici.
As long as you're nice.
Right, and not a troll.
See that? So you can't troll, you have to actually talk.
Yeah, you guys can't troll when you call in. You have to actually talk.
Yes.
Is the meeting number cut off or no? No.
No.
Go over to your YouTube. Record the volume down. We have 85 people in here.
Okay, I'm reading chat. Sorry.
Ask Sweetly what happened, why she's not a mod anymore.
Melissa, can you
Prepper.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Prepper
Okay.
said I can't make calls after 9. The cell block phone won't work until 8 a.m.
I can't with Prepper.
Oh,
If we could get George Dog to call in, we could play our game.
What game is that?
The Southern game.
Oh, Jay said that if
Accents.
Georgia Dog calls in, they can play their game.
well, tell him to call in.
He's vacuuming.
Oh my God, is he really?
Yes. At like, what time is it? 12? Okay, what game, when Jay gets back on, what game do you want her to play?
What? I am back.
Oh. You wanted to play the Southern game?
Well, I wanted to,
Georgia
but
Dog is the call.
G-Dog is busy. Is it snowing where I am? It's not snowing where I'm at. It did yesterday.
Yeah, it snowed all day yesterday by us too.
It didn't stick though.
Ours did stick, but it was towards the end.
Joined the meeting.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Is this Rose?
This is, yes, it is.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
I've missed you. Are
Oh,
you?
Yeah, hi. I'm just slow at recovering. That's all.
Well, you hang in there, girl. What else is going on?
Yeah. Nothing. Not much. I don't do much, but I've been helping my friend Jenny. I sent you that story to your Facebook.
Yes.
My classmate. Okay, yeah. Well, they finally arrested him on murder charges, and I'm just waiting, for the court, because I'm gonna go there if he goes to trial, I'm gonna go there for the trial.
Do you want to
so
give
I
us
can
like?
support
Yeah, give
Jenny.
us like a brief synopsis of what's going on there.
Oh, right now for
Yeah,
the
like
whole
what?
case, or
Well, just like a brief synopsis of what case you're talking about. What happened?
okay. Well, I have a classmate, and she has 2 daughters. Well, the one daughter is a bad girl, but the other daughter is a really good girl. And actually, my son worked with her at the Home Depot, and she met this guy, and she was with him for 4 years, and they had a baby, and her name was Luna. And Jenny and her daughter went on an outing to Hobby Lobby, and the daughter left the little girl, the baby, with the dad. Coleman Royer is his name. And Coleman called the baby's mom an hour into their trip and said that baby Luna fell out of the swing, but she's okay, don't worry about it. Well, when the mom came back home, she said that she noticed something was wrong with Luna. She wasn't acting right, and she couldn't cry. And so she took the baby right up here to the hospital, and then they life-flighted the baby to the U of M hospital in Ypsilanti. And the doctor up there said that the baby had 2 skull fractures and
Oh my gosh.
multiple broken ribs and brain bleed and broken arm and some other stuff. So they sedated the baby, and the next day, the doctor said, well, the brain bleed is so bad that it took out her brain pretty much. So they decided to shut off the life support, and Luna died within like 3-4 minutes. So up here at our police station, there was a conflict of interest between the suspect and the investigators. So they were just dragging their feet for about 11 months. And then Ginny decided to call the Michigan Attorney General, and they looked at the case, and it was 2 months after they took over the case and seen all the autopsy pictures that they decided that they were going to charge him with open murder and 4 counts of child abuse and neglect.
Oh my goodness, Rose.
So that's where we are right now.
Oh wow. Well, you're gonna have to keep me updated on that for sure.
Yep, I certainly will, and they need lots of prayers.
All right. Yeah, if you could post that again in the podcast group, and then everybody can kind of follow it and comment. That would be cool.
Yep, I sure will.
Awesome.
Sure will.
Thanks, Rose.
Okay. Yep.
You gonna go, Rose, or are you gonna stay on?
Oh, I'm gonna hang up now because I have to take some night medicine.
Oh, okay. All right. You go. You take care of yourself. Yeah, you take care of yourself, and we're here, so stay in chat.
Okay.
All
bye,
right.
everybody.
All right. Thanks, Rose. Bye-bye.
Bye, Rose.
Yep, bye.
Love you, Rose.
Bye. Love you.
All right. Who do we have that finally called in?
I don't know if you can hear me, but
I can hear you.
okay. Yeah, no, I'm here.
How you doing, man?
After all that pressure,
You finally gave in.
I caved.
You did.
I totally caved.
So what's going on?
Nothing. I had the night off, and I never have Friday nights off, and you went live, so.
And this is what you're doing?
Well, yeah, man, because I never, sometimes I have to catch playbacks because I'm working. But yeah, I was listening to what you were doing, man, and I was really enjoying it. I was like, all right, this is what I'm hearing about. And then when I heard about what you do, and then I listened to it, it was K stuff, and it was Chris Watts stuff, and I just, I don't have any interest.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that. I've listened to you a couple times.
I know I'm kind of a dick about it, but I mean, it's how I feel, and would you rather me not be forthcoming as far as, you know what I mean?
No, don't be fake. Don't be fake.
Yeah, right. So I was hoping. I count on surrounding myself with people who can handle who would rather that than be lied to.
I would, and I've always said that. The truth may hurt, but at least you told me the truth, right?
Right. Yeah.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me to not, to save feelings or anything,
Well, yeah. What good are you to me? If you know what I'm saying? If you're not an honest person to me, then what good could you possibly be to me?
Exactly.
Because you're just untrustworthy, and if there's no trust, you can't have anything.
Nothing.
Right? Nothing can build from that. So
nothing, but a bunch of problems.
I'm the kind of person that would rather take the risk of someone not being able to handle how I am and how I address people, or I'd rather have that than, I don't know. I don't want to be counted on to blow sunshine up your ass.
No, and you should never do that. Right. Especially on YouTube. I mean, right. Yeah, be yourself. Be real.
Right. What a fantastic opportunity that any one of us has to be able to just start our own channel and do whatever the fuck we want, and either people like it or they don't. But
absolutely,
even if it's a couple people, man, it's fun.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
dude, you're never gonna please everybody ever. You
Right,
never will. And if you're not true to yourself, where do you really stand, and what do you really have to offer, like on a
right,
platform?
right.
If you're
I
just
got
gonna go with
really,
the flow.
yeah, for a minute there, I got really, really bummed out about, not having stuff and what am I doing wrong and blah blah blah. And then I was like, dude, you got like almost 400 subs, man, and like, people always get in on your chat, and so people are having a good time and they
And
like
that's
it.
what matters.
And then I
Because
was like, yeah, like it's me kind of beating myself up here, but also kind of smacking myself into reality, going, hey, you ungrateful fuck, wake up. You got a good thing here. It's all right. So now I'm just enjoying it for what it is and having a good time.
and dude, it takes time, you know.
Oh, I'm not even worried about it, man. Like I just
You do
like that.
you and have fun doing it.
Yeah, like what is the fucking point if I'm not enjoying it? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So what you were basically saying is, let me try to sum up what I think you were saying. I think you were saying that you had heard that I did certain things, and then you watched my live and you saw something different.
Right. Well, I mean, this is a popular true crime channel that I've never actually really listened to. I've heard about it, but I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I'll be honest with you. I don't watch a lot of it.
I
But
don't either.
there's a couple of channels that get my attention. I mean, there's dumb shit that I watch. I like watching reaction videos to like people listening to fucking Eddie Van Halen for the first time. And it's
Yeah,
some
yeah,
dude
yeah. I
listening
like
to hip hop
reaction
music.
videos too. Those
You
are
know what I mean?
funny. Yeah.
I watch them and it's hilarious, and
Yes.
I love it. And it's always a positive vibe because they're just like listening to music they never really listened to before,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
moving out to it. And it's really nice. So I like to see these natural, this natural,
Yeah, because it's real.
the bright side of human behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's real.
And YouTube offers that.
Hmm.
So I try to contribute to that a little bit. Is all I try to do.
So what's your channel based on? Is it just the
My
life of the glarer?
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, well, my thing is, okay, like I've been a fuck up my whole life. Total fuck up. Yeah. And I got in this really low place. I talk about it in depth in the Noah Poffman live that I did. But I in a low place. And then at some point coming out of it, I was just laying in bed, just awake and bummed out. And I just started thinking about what are the proper steps to start taking to like get to happiness. Like what do I gotta do? And then I came up with these bullet points, and they turned out to make an acronym that spelled out to be GLARER.
So that's where your name came from. Very cool.
Yeah, yeah. So I just basically follow these principles as best as I can, as consistently as I can, and then I just kind of share the experiences with everybody. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't talk about it at all. Sometimes I just shoot
So
shoot
what
the
does
shit
the
with my
what's the acronym?
Gratitude. It's a lot because sometimes I forget it actually. So, but gratitude, logic, awareness, acceptance, accountability, adaptation. The A is 4 parts. Rationality, empathy, and resilience.
Wow. Those are some really good.
So I try to apply those things, like each one of those things, as in every decision that I make in everyday life. And
Yeah.
I have seen positive results. I just, yeah. It's hard to explain.
Well, you know what? And it's not really hard. I totally understand what you're saying. Like, if you change the way that you look at things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you change the way you look at everything and you come at it from a positive place rather than a negative place, like,
and it starts from a perspective of gratitude. It's and I'm telling you, like, to even when shitty things happen to me, I try to find a reason to have gratitude for it. And then I take it to every level I can. Like, I get really deep with it and I start to think about it. Like, even when I'm just working out,
yeah,
I try to really just I start to I start to feel like I want to quit, blah, blah, blah. And then I start to tell myself how lucky I am to have working muscles and moving limbs, and, you know, and I start to just do that. And it motivates me. It motivates me to keep going. And so I apply that to everything. I apply it to making food. Before I sit down and eat a meal, I enjoy it more because I actually take a moment to actually soak it in, what I'm about to eat and how lucky I am to have it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and you have to make a conscious effort to do that. Like that's not something that
you absolutely
just comes to you to do.
I do. I have to. Yeah. No, it's every day. But the effort itself is rewarding. So, because I mean, it just pays off.
It does. So, yeah. So, like, what I was gonna say is, like, if you look at things from a positive standpoint, right? You eventually change the way you think, the people that you want to be around too.
Right.
You know, you start thinking like that, because this happened to me. And that was when I had to really, like, I looked at people that were in my daily life and I was like, my God, this is toxic. It's toxic, it's unhealthy, and it's not positive in my life in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's really it.
So
like,
good for you for turning yourself around like that.
Yeah. Accountability is a big part of it. And that's something I talked about. I made a point in my last live where I said that accountability, people want control. People want control. Control makes them happy. Having control over things in their life makes them happy. Not necessarily, I don't mean in a bad way where we want to control our spouses, we want to control the people around us. No. You want to be able to control things to where they work in your favor. I mean, it's natural. We're human.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to do. But nobody wants the responsibility that comes with it. Everybody wants to blame something on somebody else. Nobody wants to stamp their name on it,
mm-hmm.
whether it's good or bad. And I believe in stamping your name on it, whether it's good or bad. Stand by your decisions. So when I do that, I'm just generally happier. I'm happier. Even when something bad happens and I take accountability for it, well, you know what? It was a decision I made. I know better than to do it again. Way to fuck up, Will, but life goes on.
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
Another thing. If you take a mistake you've made, this is what I've learned, because God knows I've made enough of them. I look at mistakes and I think to myself, like, what can I learn from this? Instead of dwelling on the fact that I fucked up and it had, you know, this and this repercussion, what can I take away from this and learn from it? So to me, there's really no regrets. They're all learning experiences. This is
the reason why I try very, very hard not to be like, well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that, unless it's somebody who specifically asked me for advice. But I try to just keep it like, okay, this is how I'm thinking, this is what I'm doing, because I don't know in the long run if it works. I believe in theory that it does, but I'm very new to it. Like I said, I've been a fuck up my whole life, you know? So I see other people who just naturally apply this stuff to their lives. You know, people who condition themselves to behave this way since they were children. You know what I mean? I just never did. And now I'm realizing, because I've struggled with anxiety, I've struggled with depression. And I get it, and I get the whole feeling sorry for yourself. But the thing is that's the trick. You got to feel sorry for yourself. You're never, ever, 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 ever going to get anywhere until you stop feeling sorry for yourself.
I agree.
And you start taking accountability for your own shit. You just got to do it, or you know. So I'm not going around telling people, hey, you got to start doing that. I'm saying it's not going to happen unless you do. You know, so if you want to be miserable, okay, you know, I mean, but I'm telling you, this is what works for me, you know, and I'm really enjoying things. So you could take that information and do with it whatever you want, you know, and I'm not gonna look down on you. I'm not gonna judge anybody. You know, people have their reasons for feeling how they feel, and have their reasons for wanting to feel how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got nothing to do with me. You know?
So I could see you kind of being like kind of a life coach.
I mean, no.
Why do you say no? What?
Because people follow example, man. You know, like I couldn't even call you right now because my phone is disconnected. The reason why my phone's disconnected is because I put my fucking phone through the washing machine like an idiot. And then I just figured, well, what's the point of paying the bill? It's not gonna work. And then it started working. So
I have to ask, is it
I gotta wait till my next paycheck to
well, I mean, you're human, dude. I mean,
right. What I'm saying I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of the fact that I'm happy. I love my job. I don't make a lot of money, but I have everything that I need and I'm completely content. But what I'm saying is I'm not fit to necessarily be a life coach, I don't think, because people want life coaches in order to be normally financially successful. I can maybe inspire someone to be emotionally successful, sure. But beyond that,
I think you could take your experiences and share that with other people and then changing their lives the way you changed your own, you know, kind of just teaching them how you did that.
And every time I listen to a life coach, I'm like,
I know, but I mean, maybe like a more
these opportunistic assholes like 90% of the time, and I'm just like, I don't want to sound like that.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but maybe more of a I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but
yeah,
like not I don't know, just not your typical.
Right now,
you know what your slogan would be? Not your typical life coach.
I don't know. Right now I'm really just enjoying what I'm doing right now. Like my kids are grown up, they're on their own. I not obligated to work a shitty job that I hate so that I can make enough money to have nice things.
Mm-hmm.
I have the luxury of doing a job that I love that I don't make a lot of money to have nice things that I honestly don't need or even really desire. What I've always been lacking has been the happiness in employment. And I'm just starting to experience that. And that freedom is actually giving me, it's starting to create this little path in my head of like, what's next? What are we going to do? Which I never had before. I was always a nihilist. That's the fucking point of anything. You know what I mean? And now being this guy is on the opposite side of that spectrum. It's crazy. It takes a little getting used to. So I'm still learning how to manage that. And
well, from what I'm seeing in chat, man, people think you're good at what you're doing on here.
Well, as far as what I'm doing on here, yeah, I guess, you know, but like I said, I'm not doing it for that reason. Maybe I'm hoping to inspire people because I'm telling you right now, the emails that I've gotten from people asking me for advice have been sending me emails thanking me because, you know, the live that I did helped. And then I got emails from somebody else saying I have this similar issue. Thank you so much for helping me out, because the advice you gave her, that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start kicking ass at my job, and I'm going to start, you know, they hired me for a reason. I'm going to show them why they fucking hired me. You know, and I'm going to show them what I'm capable of, and they get this fire into their asses, and I'm just like, man, this is awesome. You know, but that in itself, I can only do that when people email me and ask me for any advice that they're having. You know, if I could be helpful, I will, but I don't promise to be helpful. I hope I can be helpful,
right?
But I don't.
I mean, not with everything. You're not going to be able to, but
it's just something that gets me rambling because I get passionate about people having shit going on in their life, and I feel like I can spew on about an opinion that I have about it. So it's great that I can do that.
Yeah, when I came in your live, dude, you were pretty passionate about something. I was like,
yeah. I mean, I started to write things because that's how I was kind of that was the example that was set to me, to the person that I was closest when I first started doing this, and that's cool, and it worked out for a bit. It worked out for a minute, but then I realized that I was doing that to try to get more subscribers, and there were times where there's like this exclusive, 10 to 20 people that always show up in my chat, and they're always really, really faithful, always really, really, and they're always really kind. And so there's no bullshit that ever goes on in my chat. Like, my mods don't even need to be there. They're just there just in case.
Right.
But even still, I'm big on, like, you can say whatever you want here, even if you're a troll. Like, let's see if I can out troll you. Fuck you. So that's kind of how I am. And it's just become fun. So I don't write stuff in advance. I'd rather the compliments they give me, and they say, I love listening to your lives because you're from the heart, and you're passionate about what you're talking about, and you're raw, and you don't play by these stupid little rules, and all these different things. And I really like to hear that, because they're basically just complimenting me on being myself. And who wouldn't enjoy that?
Yeah, and you know what? Those first people are going to be your OGs. They're going to be your ride or dies.
Yeah, they already
I
are.
love it. I love it. That's
right.
You look at my mods in here, dude. They're my ride or dies.
So as soon as I started to really realize that that's what that was, that's when I was like, fuck this. You can hear in my earlier lives how hard I was trying, and now I'm not really anymore, and I'm just liking it, because
you just do it.
I'm really, really just in the moment, and I'm just enjoying their company. I'm just enjoying their contributions to the chat. And
pretty cool that we have the ability to do this.
Right. It's definitely one of those top things that I'm grateful for right now. This is one of the things that I look forward to. I could be sitting here watching TV and vegging out. Instead, I have this opportunity to be creative. I've always felt the need to be creative in some form or another and be expressive. Right. I play music, and and I'm real animated when I'm around people and stuff like that. But this gives me the opportunity to just speak my mind on shit to a bunch of strangers who are ironically my best friends.
Exactly. Hey, so I have a tough question I'm going to ask you.
Sure.
Excuse me. A couple people in chat actually were asking if you still talk to the Critical K.
I don't not talk to Kay. We're not, as far as I know, we're still cool. I mean, the whole thing with her is we had a
So what happened? I thought y'all were like doing this podcast together.
We were probably going to, but what I think, honestly, what happened, the biggest thing that happened with that was the fact that they took away Hangouts. We used Hangouts to do our lives together. Oh,
come on.
Listen, let me finish.
That is the lamest excuse I've ever heard.
It would be if it weren't true, because I am totally computer illiterate. The only reason that I use OBS right now is because I sat there all night trying to figure it out, because I knew I had like a few people that really wanted me to keep going with my lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I still don't know how to do anything with someone else. I would still go live with Kay if she wanted me. I would have absolutely no issue with that. I love Kay. I have nothing against Kay. Kay gave me, Kay helped me get the confidence that I needed to do this by welcoming me on her lives, and we had a great banter, and I enjoyed our banter, and it was very natural banter. And we had a good time, and I have no bad memories about it. The only thing that went wrong between me and Kay that I think happened was the fact that it was never between me and Kay. It was between me and some of her mods. And I some of them are just like little, like a little group of little bullies in high school. You know what I mean? That just kind of stand there in their expensive clothes and judge everyone. That's
pretty much.
There's that, and I don't even, knowing that the two of you are enemies, I don't even feel that comfortable telling you.
You know, I really don't even. You know what? I'm
But-
not enemies with anybody. I'm just.
Well, whatever. But all I know is you two were fucking going back and forth
Oh yeah.
about each other, using this platform to do it. And here I am, and I want to be very clear about this, because I'm glad we have the opportunity to actually talk about this. Because the truth is, this is the first time we've actually really gotten to it. But I was critical only in the sense, honestly, as like a fan is of one of the artists that they like. Because I would listen to you and I'd be like, this woman is clearly good at what she does, but what the fuck is she doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Well, that was
this is a true crime channel, and I'm hearing her. I honestly, and it's the same thing I've told Kay. I'm like, it's a fucking waste. It's a waste, because I'm dying to hear what you guys can really do to really, like what you did tonight blew me away. Because what you did tonight was you used your platform and you used your talent and you used your resources to give this woman whose daughter is missing with her boyfriend and give her a voice to speak out and make people aware. You made your viewers aware that this was happening and that they could help. And look what happened. There was some fucking weird dude sending an ominous message talking about West Virginia in there. But
crazy.
That could be a huge break.
It could change. It could change everything for them. And if you've watched me though, Will, I've had a channel for almost, well, it'll be a year in December, and this is the most of what I've done. I've never.
I'm not saying that you have a responsibility to do this.
No. I'm saying
it's just what I prefer to hear.
I have always kept my mouth shut. I've had multiple creators come at me. Okay, but to me, they're just other YouTubers. When it comes to Kay and I've known her for a long ass time, man. A long time. Almost 30 years of my life. So
yeah, see, I get that. It's personal.
Yeah, it's personal. It's very personal. So I sat back.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I sat back for almost a full year while she aired dirty laundry about me, twisting it with lies. I sat back with my mouth shut. And anybody in here who's watched me can vouch for that. I've kept my mouth shut, but it got to a certain point where things were said and things were shared about me where I had to stand up for myself. And if this person over here, she's snowed a lot of people, because they don't know her like I know her. But I'm not going to share all of her shit on a live stream. But I will out her for being the controlling asshole that she is. Yes, I will.
Here's my point. And I apologize in advance if this comes off as abrasive, but I don't give a fuck about any of that. I give a fuck about hearing you doing what you do as best as you can. That's what I'm interested in. And what you did tonight was fantastic.
Well, thanks. And a lot of people, a lot of people feel that way.
I don't feel whether or not you're right or Kay's right or whatever. I don't give a shit about any of that. And I would be telling Kay the exact same fucking thing I'm telling you right now. I promise you that. I would be telling her the exact.
Well, a lot of people think the same way you do, but a lot of people do want to see it because you know what? There's people that are giving her money for shit.
I was just going to agree with you in the sense here, that what you're saying now is if you listen to my last live, I don't even blame you guys. That's even, you know what I'm saying? I'm just simply saying, because there's obviously a demand for it. People want to hear the shit, right? So I criticize the listeners. The memes I make and post in my group, I'm criticizing the listeners. I'm not criticizing you, and I'm not criticizing you. Because you're smart YouTubers. You guys are giving people what they want. I am simply fucking griping generally about the fact that that's what people want, because you guys
no, don't say you guys, man, because I've never been a drama channel, and I'm still not a drama channel. I got what I needed to get out.
I beg to differ.
Really? You think I'm a drama channel?
Oh, listen, okay.
Come
In
on.
the sense that I the first time I listened to you, the first couple times it was K this, K that, you know,
What?
and it was Watts, and it was, well, K said this, and there's always something going on with K. And then
Dude.
every time I listen to K, it's Jennifer, and I'm like, dude, you know, and I'm not gonna lie though, I'm not gonna lie. She makes me laugh when she does that, but it also makes laugh. It made me laugh when you prank called her. I knew it was a crank call. I didn't know it was you, but I was listening.
I can't believe she didn't know it was me.
Right. And I, you know, it's one of those things. It's not personal, but, you know, got her, and it was funny, you know. So it's not because it was her to me that it was funny. It's the fact that somebody got prank called and fell for it. It was funny. And so as a listener, I heard that, I laughed. So full disclosure there. But I'm saying I'm not gonna.
I don't even, you know what? I just wanted to ask you that one question, really. Like, do you still talk to her? Yes, I do. So that puts a little bit of my comfort and trust level. You've said that.
I can say yes or no to all the questions that you ask me from here on out if you'd like.
No, I don't want you to say yes or no. I'm
discussion because it's alive.
No, what I'm saying is we were getting off topic with going into detail about the K and J drama, which I really didn't want to dedicate a live to. But okay, that I understand. But at the same time, it's fair to discuss it because I know some K's people are going and saying, and I really, at the end of the day, it's not that big a deal. But you know, I prefer that K also know that this is where I stand. But she won't listen to this. Somebody else will listen to it and then give her their. I know. Yeah, I know how she works. I know how she has everybody do her work for her. So anyway, how exciting that you and I got to talk tonight. Seriously.
I had a lot of fun. This is very pleasant.
Well, I'm glad that you called in, and it sounds like a lot of people in chat went over and subscribed to you too. They liked what you had to say. Chat. Oh.
I don't. Yeah, I can't talk and stay on track when I'm looking at the chat because I'm easily distracted. So that's another reason, man. You guys are so much better at this than I am. And
I get distracted too, but you have to learn to just skim.
I do from time to time, but I can't keep talking and read other shit at the same time. I don't know how you do that. Like I will literally be hearing you talk in the live, and you typed and said something to the chat. How'd she do that?
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. You know, I can't do that.
Yeah, well, most guys can't multitask very well. They really can't.
Yeah, well,
women are the multitaskers. Yeah,
that's what I hear.
Well, thanks for calling in. It was nice talking to you, and you know I appreciate your honesty. I do.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on here and being very, very cool. And I really loved your live today. It was really cool.
Well, thanks a lot, Will.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, we'll talk to you.
All right, bye.
All right, bye. All right. Speak for yourself, Jennifer. Yeah, so that was the glare. He was honest, man. I have to give props to honesty. He didn't say anything bad. He was respectful and he was honest. I mean, I like to know where people stand. If you are honest with me about where you stand, then there's no surprises. Right? You can't say one thing and then act another thing, and then you get where it's like you can't trust them because you don't know what they're saying or what they're not. You know, I like to know where I stand. So who wants to call in? Who was it? G-Dog. Oh, you guys want G-Dog to call in. Melissa. You don't have to. I mean, if you want to call back in, Melissa, anybody wants to call in. I did take the thing down. Let me put it back up. But no, I totally, I don't care if he's friends with Kay. I mean, it's not like I'm confiding in Will my deepest, darkest secrets, Like, I will never tell someone, if you talk to them, I'm not talking to you. However, I will put up boundaries, if I feel like there could be some issues there. It doesn't matter, Melissa B. You can stay in chat right now if you want. I know you were busy doing some stuff, so don't worry about it, Melissa. Prepper, you crack me up. It's so nice to see you too. I feel like I don't see you enough, Prepper. You have to have boundaries in YouTube. Yeah, you do. And you have to have thick skin, because you're not going to please everybody. Hey, Jamie, what's up? You're not going to please everybody. You're never going to make them happy. You're going to get nasty comments. You're going to get nasty feedback. You're going to have people making fun of how you look, making fun of how you talk. You're going to get it from all angles. So if you're going to have a YouTube channel, you really have to be prepared for that. And if you can't handle that, if you're the type of person that my skin is Swiss cheese, but if you're that type of person, you're going to have your feelings hurt doing this rather than any kind of satisfaction on, doing something worthwhile. You're not going to have that satisfaction. You're going to feel bad and you're going to dwell on those negative comments. So no, come on, Stephanie, go ahead and call in. There's nobody in line. But yeah, you have to look at the positive of what you're doing on here. Screw all those nasty comments. It's like D-Wop always told me, Jay, don't read your clip-ins. Don't read your clip-ins. And sometimes I do, but a lot of times I don't. I try to remind myself. I hear D-Wop in my head. Don't read your clip-ins, Jay. Cubby. I do want you to call. Call right now, Melissa. Right now. Oh, Treaty. Jay, what do you think of AD claiming Anna wants to have a baby with Chris? Let me just tell you. I'm going to shorten your question and just put, Jay, what do you think of AD? Question mark. I think, and thank you, Seabreeze, for the super chat. I know we were yapping, but thank you so much for the super chat. What do I think of AD? I think AD is an opportunist. I think that he takes any opportunity that he can to spread some kind of Watts rumor for views. Hey, Cindy Bobbitt. I love Cindy's last name. He was, and I listened to his live, and he had Sherilyn Cadle on, and I planned to discuss this because I listened to his live and I made notes. It's unbelievable. Earthbound, how are you? Connie, what do you think of Dr. Phil? As far as what, his show? I think that Dr. Phil is like an actor. I don't think that he really does a whole hell of a lot, to be honest. He said in the chat he's using Sherilyn. I guess I would have more respect for AD. Oh, I haven't listened to his podcast, Connie. Yes, you need to download the Zoom meeting app. And then just click on join meeting and then put the meeting number in. G-Dog, why don't you call in too on Zoom? Okay, so AD, I would have more respect for him if he literally said, you know, you guys, I'm strictly doing this for views. I would have so much more respect for him. See, he's got all these people that follow him. And he promises them a lot of stuff. He thinks that he's getting, you know, he has them convinced he's getting the first dibs on new info when it comes to the Watts. And if you look at what was the one that he made such a big deal about and ended up being like junk garbage. He regurgitated Dr. Phil today. He's, but you know what? People are watching him. So what is that little icon, G-Dog? A little guy? Thank you, Shell. Seabreeze, I believe that was from Shanann's side of the family. Mika was a family name on the Italian side of her family. Really, Georgia Dog? You're falling asleep? Hell to the nah. Oh my god, I cannot. Who has 300 subs? Thank you, Michelle. I love you. Who has 300 subs? It's not about the subs. It's about whether you enjoy what you're doing or not. But you know what? Okay, as much as I want to say AD is out there, you gotta give the guy some props because he's got all these people that faithfully follow him. There, you know how they say there's, you know, somebody for everybody. I feel like that about creators. You know, you have certain people who really like a certain creator, and they're faithful, they're loyal to them. Okay, no problem, Stephanie. Melissa, please call back in. Michelle, if you want to call in. Know that we're going back with Stephanie here. This is going back to the OG days of this channel and everything that went along with it. Some creators have really started to show they're crazy. I agree, man. Some of them, it took them a little longer to snap, but they've snapped. The past 2 weeks have been an eye-opener for you, River? For what? As far as... Oh yeah, he picks his nose online. But you know what? I mean, that's like kind of AD's signature shit. I think he drinks, he picks his nose, I think he farts, I think he swishes his drink. He's seen like 10 different cars. But people love him. Some people love him. I love J.D. Wap, Jewels of Thought, and Bruiser. I don't know who Bruiser is. Jewels of Thought, dude, she's off her rocker. AD is Armchair Detective. AD is fun to watch when I'm stoned. Really? Lisa, I would think he would be a total buzzkill. Okay, I have a question for people who watch AD. Why does he call his mods are they called spanners?
Stephanie? Join the meeting. Are you there?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, that wasn't too bad.
No, it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I didn't know about, like, because, you know, I'm not used to all of the calling in stuff. So
All the calling in stuff.
I know. Listen, I'm telling you, I can't help it.
So what's happening, stuff?
Not much. Not much. Logan, he got a fever last night, so I took Landon trick or treating, and Logan stayed home. And
good
so
times.
Today yeah. So other than that, not much. Just listening to you and what you were doing live before this, which I think it was amazing.
Aw,
you know
thanks,
how
yeah.
you go in. Well, and you know, it's like what was said before, you never know. When you go in and you do a live like that, you just really never know. Somebody in there might actually have some information. And so I think that's pretty cool.
You know what? It is, because you never know who's going to be watching.
Yeah.
It's
you really
crazy.
Don't.
It's
Yep.
crazy.
I mean,
I've done these before, stuff where like I've had, you know, I've just been talking about like a random thing that was going on. Like one time it was Diana Keel. She was missing from North Carolina, and she's Filipino. And, you know, I'm just talking about it, reading stuff that's out in the news. There wasn't a whole lot of info. And then all of a sudden, first she was from Colombia. She was from Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, a bunch of her family members were in chat. I'm Diana's,
wow.
I actually got on with Diana's brother. We went offline. He didn't want to be on air, and we got them set up with some help and some money to get them over here. It was, I love that. Awesome. Like that makes it so worth it, you know?
Yes, that is awesome. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, tonight was pretty cool. Know. Just to get her a lead, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because I just can't imagine. I can't imagine, you know, the unknowing is just, I mean, it's heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I think unknowing is probably worse than knowing, you know, if your child's not there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I wanted to call in and see if there was anything you or anybody in chat wanted to ask me from where I just came from and that whole mess.
Yeah, so I don't know if everybody here knows, because a lot of people here don't really follow the drama, but some do. Stephanie comes from the Hypocritical Case group. Now, were you a bod? Hello? Can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear me? Uh-oh, I lost Stephanie. Oh. Yeah, we lost her. I'm sure she'll try to call back. Um, spill the tea, she says. Oh, there she is.
Okay. I'm here. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just like, what happened? I thought it was me.
Yeah. It just dropped off. It was just silent. And then I was like, are you there, Jay? And then it went beep, beep, beep. So
Yeah.
I just called back in.
No, cool. Okay, so yeah, so I was saying that you came from the hypocritical case group, and a few people in chat said spill the tea. So what happened?
Oh. Well, okay. Let's see, it started out that I was just in her group, the big group, Specs. I don't know if that's still what it's called, but that's what I always knew it as. Well, then she added me to this side chat called Stay Safe. And from there, it went to when the group got shut down, she asked if I could help mod in another page that she had made until the Specs group was able to be brought back up again. Well, I didn't know how to mod. I was like, it can't be that hard. So I did. I was like, yeah, I'll help you. Well, then I was added to this monkey chat. And there were things. First, let me say, I have, my kids now are 8, 6, and 4. So I do still have a life outside of social media. And we have, I have a pig, we have chickens, we have ducks, and I have a house. My husband, he drives a truck over the road. So 2 weeks, out of the month, he only comes home every 2 weeks. So I have to deal with it all. So anyways, I would be in and out of the chat, and it was okay for a little while. It was fun.
Uh-huh.
Like when it was me or it was Mel in there, and there were a couple other people. It was fun. Well, then all of a sudden, Kay started, like, it was really weird. She would come in and she would say, I'm being told that there's a mole in here. And it would cause, like, everybody would be fine. Like, everybody would be talking about what they ate for breakfast that day, just normal, everyday life stuff. And she would come in and she would say that.
Like ball busters.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, like me, I never put my personal information out there, like some people in the chat have done. And so, of course, everybody in the chat, it would cause complete chaos in the chat. And then everybody in the chat would kind of start freaking out on each other, and Kay would disappear. Well, then all of a sudden, she would reappear like some kind of hero and say, I got it all figured out. Everybody just relax. And it was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So that is really when I started noticing her behavior change, aside from her behavior in the perspective of the actual case itself, just her own personality. So I got to thinking, and I'm like, I'm wondering if this is a person I'm catching on to, somebody that just likes to cause this drama and then wants to come in like an unsung hero and save the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I just watched it, and she did it several times. Well, a lot of the things, like Trent Cable, who she says is the person that she uses to dox people, I have no idea who Trent is. Not a clue. Her talking about Lemonade or Limeade or whatever her name is on her channel, they have issues going on. And the only reason I know who you were is because I was there for Murder Rap Sesh. So I
Mhm.
knew who you were. But it was constant. Her talking about you was a constant thing in the chat. And I'm like, Kay, what is your obsession? I mean, really, if Jay went her own way, let her go her own way. And so she just started having all these issues with all these other creators and in all these other groups. And she started accusing people of being other people. And it just got really, really weird. And so I eventually, started to step away from it. Well, it was back in July, and me and the kids, we always go to Florida for July while they're out on summer break. So I wasn't really in the chat a whole bunch. And I knew that she had this picture of Frankie, and she was basically holding it as leverage, like holding it as blackmail
Against who?
to use against him and his family.
Oh.
And if they ever tried to come after her, and that, for me,
That's disgusting.
my opinion on, my opinion is not one that is most liked. However, my opinion on Shanann and Chris and their family dynamic, I have held on to that opinion from the very beginning. So, but I also have to say I have a personal friendship with some of Chris's family that I have been friends with them since before this even happened with Chris and Shanann. So our friendship is more of an in-depth friendship. I do know that Cindy and Jamie are humble and they are kind. They are, like, in the South, it's Southern hospitality. There are points that, a lot of us are nosy, like if somebody's standing next to us at the grocery store and we're like, hey, what's in your buggy? That kind of nosy. But we also, just in the South, like if we're invited to something and we think that it's going to cause a scene, we won't go. And it's not out of a pride. It's not from a being prideful. It's out of respect for whoever is being celebrated or whoever the other guests are. And yes, it does hurt us to not attend. It's just our way of kind of being polite. So Kay knew this. She knew that I never hid that. I never hid either one, that my opinion of Shanann and Chris and their family dynamic, I had my own opinion and it hasn't changed. And I have my personal friendships, like outside of social media, with this family, and I love them dearly. And that's not going to change. So all of a sudden, when Jamie and Cindy all that happened was they decided to stop speaking to Kay. Kay started to become kind of controlling, especially, I wish Mel was here to hear me, but I know she'll listen later. But I saw it happen with Mel and Kel. Kay was trying to control, like, the narrative, and Kay started doing that. Well, you can't go into that group and still be a part of my group. And, Mel and Kel, just the last that I knew is they were like, okay, well, they were always polite to Kay in their explanation. They never cursed at her, hollered at her. They just told her, this is where we're going. It's nothing against you. This is just where we're headed with this. in the case. And Kay got her little feelings hurt. And ever since then, it has been nothing but an absolute hate fest smear campaign against Jamie and Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
And for a couple of months,
so she went from blackmailing Frankie on a picture to a hate campaign against the Watts.
Yes.
So she really just goes with whatever the way the wind blows.
Exactly. And it's her going against the Watts is only because they stopped speaking to her. That's it. No other reason. They did nothing to her. They did not threaten her. They did not use her. And when she says that they approached her, that is incorrect. And there are screenshots to prove that is incorrect. I have seen the messages where Kay actually reached out to them. I mean, I've seen it. The first message from Kay to them. So there's a lot of things that, Kay is backpedaling on.
Well, I know that she wasn't contacted by them first because we were in the middle of doing our podcast and she said, hey, that Kelly that's in chat is a friend of the Watts family. She said, right. I'm talking to her in message right now. And her ultimate goal was to write a book about this case from the very beginning. And she told me I need to gain their trust. Yeah. Yeah. Now, someone who is genuine and is a good person never says those words. I need to gain their trust. Because if you're a good person, they're going to trust you. But saying that just proves that you had like a sinister reason behind talking to them.
Right. There's a motive. There's a motive behind it.
Absolutely.
And that was where, once it became a smear campaign against them, I was in the chat. I would go in because it was summertime, so I was busy with the kids, but I would check in, here or there. And Kay's mod, specifically Cass, and Emily, a couple of the other ones they were getting really just mean about it. And the same thing that Kay did to Mel and Kel, they were basically doing to any of us in the chat and saying, you should not be speaking to them. They have done Kay wrong. They used her. And I'm thinking, used her for what? They didn't go to her. They did not ask her to do this. And so I watched it, and it progressively got worse. It just continued to get worse. And finally, it was on a Saturday, and it was going to rain that afternoon, and I was trying to mow my grass. And when I would check in, like to take breaks, I would go in the chat, and they were still going on and on and on about it. So I finally stepped up and said, look, this is ridiculous. We are all adults here. I'm not going to end my friendship with the Watts family because you have an issue with the Watts family. They are not these people that you are making them out to be. And so that's the deal with me. I can separate my friendship. I can be friends with them, and I can be friends with you as well, Kay. But you're not going to tell me I can't be friends with people that I have personal friendships with outside of social media.
So wait. She was telling you who you could be friends with?
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very weird. So and that's why I told her, I was like, that doesn't work in my world. I'm an adult, and I've been friends with you for this long, and it hasn't been a problem. But now that you got your little feelings hurt because somebody won't talk to you, now all of a sudden you want everybody to just stop being friends with them, stop talking to them, and just participate in this smear campaign with you. No, that I'm not your girl. That's not me. And so it got pretty vicious in the chat. And she finally removed me from the Flying Monkeys chat. And I had told her, I said, it was supposed to be temporary because everybody, there was so much just tension in the chat. And I'm like, yeah, I don't work on temporary basis. So if you are temporarily removing me from the monkey chat, which I would have removed myself, I'm just going to go ahead and put closure to this now. And I'm going to remove myself from everything that has to do with you, all of your groups, all of that. And I did. And then she went and she did that live where she talked about the 5 chapters of All My Broken Pieces. And it was on a Friday night. And she was hollering at Cindy, don't do this, and just, she said that she said that Jamie and Cindy didn't have 2 brain cells to rub together, that the family is whack, just uncalled for things. And it was over the line. It crossed the line. And that's when I said, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. And because I knew the backstory on why we were at where we were when Kay did that live. And since then, she's gone on to compare Jamie and Cindy to prostitutes. She's called them vipers, screaming to them, to the family, to go away. Just unhinged. You can tell that her mental health is not quite where it should be. And so I gave them fair warning. And I said, look, enough is enough with this. You have hurt both families at this point. And if you don't knock it off, I'm fully prepared to expose you. I'm going to expose the truth about you because this is ridiculous. And it was, let's see, I sent her that, I sent that message, and I was very nice about it. I said, I'm not threatening you. I'm letting you know that I'm fully prepared to do this, and I am going to do it. And the next live that she did was where she talked about me in the beginning and showed like screenshots of comments that I had made within the groups, which to me, I was like, I don't know why you're showing those because my opinion is still the same as and I've never hidden that. And then the next part, she talked about you, of course, because she has to talk about you in every live. And then the next part is where she showed that message between Jamie and somebody else that was a private conversation about Jamie's son, and it was not supposed to be seen publicly. So as soon as she did that, that's when I started gathering what I had. And there were a couple of people that were already ready to do this before I was. So we all got together and we are fully prepared and we will continue to expose her.
Well,
And because you know,
I don't know what went on in there. I mean, the things that I've seen since I left, it looks like a shit show, but
yeah,
I just feel like she bashed me for so long. That's the only reason that I even made any videos like I did. But I think people need to know. People need to know, because there's people that listen to me and listen to her, and they go in there and they hear all these nasty things about me.
yes,
And I don't like that. But you know what? I sat back because I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to have people that change their mind and don't like me, whatever. But it got personal. She talked about a lot of personal things about my daughter. She brought up my granddaughter's name in her lives. I mean, there's just certain things you don't do, and those are two of them.
Right.
Never once have I mentioned her children, ever. And I never would.
Yep. And that's one thing, because I never really came over to your channel, to listen to you. And I don't know if you saw, I made a comment on one of your videos. It was like a public apology, because I wanted your mods to see it as well, where I apologize for even believing any of the things that Kate ever said about you. And it's not like I went on this, tirade with her of hating you. It was just like, okay, well, Jay is questionable, and that's what I'm being told. And okay, I mean, it was never really a thought. But then when I got out of it, and I was like, you know what? Oh, Jay really isn't. And so that's when I started going over to your channel. I started listening to your lives and your videos, and I'm like, Jay really doesn't mention her. So that brought on a whole new respect for me to you, because I'm like, how in the world has she been able to sit back for this long and just allow this woman to publicly say these things? And Jay just doesn't say anything back. I'm like, I don't know how you have done that. So
because I didn't want to be a drama channel. I didn't want that. I've never allowed that in my chat. Like, if I have anybody on, even if it's someone who everybody hates, let's say I had somebody like the most hated person, I would not allow my chat to disrespect them while they're live with me. So I had like this platform set up from the get-go, and I wanted to keep that, and I wanted to keep it. But when it gets to the point where you're talking about my marriage, what I'm doing in my personal life, I mean, A, it looks like you're a little crazy, and B, there comes a time where I have to stand up for myself, because it's lies, just, you say I'm on drugs, you say I'm cheating on my husband, you say all these things about me. I have to defend myself at some point.
Jay, do I just jump in here? I don't know even how to do this.
Who's that?
This is Lisa. I'm new to your channel.
Hey, Lisa. Welcome.
Hi. I used to be I remember this whole thing that she's talking about. I used to be in that other channel's. I kept getting invites. She kept creating new rooms all the time. Do you remember that? Constantly. And it would be, if you got this invite, you're special.
Oh, God.
Like, oh, gee. Okay. I'm a special kind of retard then, because I don't even know why I'm in this room. I went in there because I really, really wanted to learn more about the Watts. And she had some interesting information. And, for a while it was okay, but they descend on people in there. Like, I couldn't take it. I thought it was camaraderie and we all stand up for each other, and it's not. And as soon as one person says something, the reason I left the room, number one, I couldn't take the narcissism, and I couldn't take the, my haters, my fans. And I was actually on her show once.
You guys, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I know this girl, and it's just funny to hear it.
I thought she was highly intelligent. I mean, she can form sentences. She's a gifted writer.
She's a smart girl.
She is, but she's manipulative, and she pits people against each other. And then before you know it, you've got Cass and you've got everybody else on your ass. And
Yeah.
I didn't care. I really didn't care. But I didn't like how she picked on other people. So
Mhm.
a girl had said something about, it was a coin toss on which side of the fence she was on every week. One moment,
Mhm.
we're all for Cindy Watts, and then the next moment, no, Shanann's the murderer, and it's this. I mean,
So you had to have like a little powwow. Okay, Kay, tell us what we're thinking this week.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
about she may have 20,000 people in there, but I think 19,000 share a brain. And I'm
Right.
sorry, but they literally worship the ground she walks on, and for the life of me, I'm like, buy a fucking clue. Excuse me, I'm sorry, my
No,
language.
you don't have to apologize. No rules here.
And
Yeah.
she's entertaining. Like if you listen to her show tonight, she talked about Howard Stern and farts, and she's thinking about doing it on her show, and I'm like, isn't the ice enough? But she
Yes.
it's horrible. I've never seen somebody with so little class. And she talks
Me
about,
either.
I didn't even know, honest to God, and I'm sorry, no disrespect, I didn't know you were Jennifer.
Oh, really?
I stumbled upon your channel, and at first I thought, oh my God, is that Kay? It sounds like she is, because you have the same accent, because you're both from Michigan.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, this girl has class, and she's, wow, I don't feel anxious when I listen to this channel. I'm not ready for a fight. And I once said to,
she's pretty intense. She's pretty intense.
She's a lot. She's extra. She's extra fucked up is what she is. But what she did was she gets on this wagon and you can't get her off. And I said to her once, I go, I don't know why you entertain this. I don't know why you talk about the haters. I honestly don't. But I figured it out. If she didn't have any haters, she wouldn't have a show.
Exactly.
She really wouldn't. Her
she wouldn't.
Outing this book is comical to me, because it's like,
yes,
this is so poorly written. I didn't buy the damn thing. This
I
is
didn't
so
either.
poorly written. How can you actually sit here and like worship Mrs. Cadle? It's insane to me. She cannot form a set. It's awful.
It's all an agenda. It's all.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yes, it is.
And then I wrote to Chris Watts, and I posted it. Do you remember that? Do you remember when I wrote and everybody gave me so much shit? Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I said, we just want the truth. And
did he write you back? I'm just curious.
No, he didn't. And I didn't say he did it, and I didn't say he didn't. Too many things didn't make sense to me, and I constantly questioned it. The text leading up to it when she was in North Carolina and all of that stuff. I'm sorry, I have to be brutally honest here. I have some crazy friends. I have friends that lose it, and they write. They key their boyfriend's car. They don't even think. So when I was reading these, it was like she's really preoccupied with death. And she's really preoccupied. So that's why I lean towards, well, it is plausible.
Right.
Right. And when everybody kept saying, she was an excellent mother, I don't doubt that. But he was an excellent father.
Right.
So it really, and I would voice that, and I get the hell beat out of me for anything I said. I said, isn't this a spec group?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I hope I wasn't ever like mean to you, or
what was your name in there?
Stephanie Rowland.
No, okay. Stephanie, I defended somebody spoke up and I defended them and said, get off her jock. Like, you guys all pile up on everybody, knock it off. And then Kay came in and said, you need to step back. I go, no problem, bitch, I'll step. And I left the group.
Oh my God.
I was gone.
I was like, told her,
yeah, I'm not going to play with you. I'm not your little toy. She obsesses about you so much, Jay, that it's I don't know if
weird.
It's hurt. It's weird, or can you tell I'm a psych major? That's why I smoke pot. But she's so fixated on you that I honestly think it's pain. I honestly think that it bothers her that you left her life and that you weren't manipulated anymore. I think it hurts her.
It's like she has abandonment issues.
Yeah.
because
So,
everybody that leaves, she goes after.
oh yeah,
It's
I'm surprised I
it's
didn't get anything
weird.
nasty, but I just
Yeah,
skedaddled. I just zoomed out of there.
yeah. It's and in her lives, like what you were saying, I noticed a difference in going from hers to Jay's. In Jay's live, everybody is just kind of everything goes with the flow.
Chill. It's
There's
chill. I don't
not
need Xanax to
yeah,
come in this room.
right. There's not like
It's the reason
there's
why I'm
not
not
hollering.
drinking.
Yeah.
And no matter
It,
what her, this is Melissa, by the way, and no matter what her topic is, she always finds a way to bring up Jen all the time.
yes.
Oh, constantly,
She'll
constantly.
always find a way to bring her in.
And
I
I
think
don't.
she just has a miserable life, and she just, misery loves company.
It's
Yes.
constant. It is. If you listen to one of her 2-hour podcasts, the first hour is me,
Right.
me, and then we go on to Jennifer
Right.
for another hour, and then it's 30 minutes of Mrs. Cadle.
And I think what
Right.
keeps her
Exceptional writing.
alive is that Jen never gave her the time. She never did a live about her ever. She never fired back. She never acknowledged her or anything.
No.
So I think,
Yeah.
it made it worse for her, and she just kept going on with it because she wants the drama to stay alive, and she wants Jen to say something back.
Oh yeah,
Right.
She goes on her apology tours every once in a while too. Like
Right.
like seriously, like I'm sorry, Cindy, and then it's I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Frank, and the tears come, and then it's you know what,
Right.
I'm gonna let this negativity go, and then it's I'm agnostic. It's
Well,
like
yeah, because
all
when
right,
she comes
Sybil.
to a wall, she has to backpedal and then go the other direction because,
Right.
it's
She just
I mean,
covers
Jay.
everybody to feel, and then she tells people how to think. You need to open
Yes.
your mind, and you need to do this. Don't tell me what I need to do.
Right. And you know what really got me was she sent me a private message and she wanted to know my perspective of exactly what happened that day in the chat when I left everything. So I gave her my perspective and she responds to me with me.
Yeah.
The Watts hurt. Me. I did this, and they did this to me. And I'm like, Kay, did you completely miss the point? Did you read anything I said, or are you just trying to use me as your punching board?
She doesn't have enough balls to do it herself. She needs her cronies all behind her because that gives her strength. But
Exactly.
one-on-one, she's articulate. She's very nice.
Yeah.
She is
Right.
extremely empathetic, but I feel played.
Oh yeah.
And I just
Absolutely.
don't appreciate it. And I only know about this channel because I was perusing Watt stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm still confused by the whole thing, even more so now.
I know after that, she had sent me another, she got a screenshot off of a comment that I had made on YouTube. I don't know, it was a 1-sentence comment about where I mentioned her in it.
Yeah.
And it was somebody said, weren't you with Kay? And I said, no, I left those loons several months ago or something like that. It was just a normal comment. So she sends it to me in a private message. And she's like, I've never said anything bad about you. And I'm like, you know what, Kay, I get sent screenshots all the time. Save it.
Yeah.
And she responds to me and says, please just leave me alone. And then she turns around and sends me a friend request from one of her 15 Facebook accounts.
Oh yeah.
And at that point, it was block. I just went on a complete block spree. Like, you know what? You are not right.
I joined a spec group because I wanted information because I was confused. And I left there feeling like, what is this even about? Is this about the the speculation, or is this about you?
Exactly.
I didn't really, I don't know. Oh, Michelle's having flashbacks. I'm so sorry, Michelle.
Oh gosh.
But I'm really glad that
Jay.
I found this channel. It's awesome. It's calmer, and there's a lot of information.
It is. It is. And I like that. And I still stand firm, because I do believe that people on these social media platforms need to know, especially now that she has a Patreon and people are paying her, people are giving her their addresses. Protect yourself.
I have to say this. She's always been decent to me. Because I'm not going to lie. She's always been decent to me. Do I think that she would take advantage of people that way? I don't think so, but I don't know her on a personal level. I was only in that room like 3 months. So I don't know. But the Patreon thing, I don't know. Referring to your people, the people that join your group as fans, it's insulting. It's insulting.
Well, she really loves herself. So we know that. She really thinks she's something great. And someone asked me in chat, and I wanted to answer this question. They said, how could you be friends for so long with someone like that?
Right.
Well,
she's entertaining.
Well, we had an on and off friendship. I met her right after high school, like a couple years after high school. And we were young. I mean, I was like 22, 23, 24. Like those years we hung out, and then I ended up moving to Florida for like 8 years. Yeah. And then when I came back in 2011, I saw her once. My dog had puppies, and she stopped by and looked at the puppies when she was coming home from work. Other than that, I haven't seen her in person in I don't know how long. Like, it's been...
I'm in Las Vegas, so I've never seen her.
Well, it's probably been, I had to guess, maybe 14 years.
Wow.
It's been a long time.
Wow.
It's been a long time. Maybe a little less than that.
I think that you not speaking to her bothers her.
Yeah.
Well,
She talks
obviously,
about you
yeah.
So much. Yeah. And if we removed you out of the her topic, and we removed herself and her feelings and her thoughts and her whine and her everything, she would be left with about 12 minutes of live time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, and I found it really compelling when she was interviewing Cheryl the first time. And at the end of it, when she said, like, I cackled a little bit. Like, I did that crazy woman wicked cackle. With my
I
head
know
back
what you're going to say.
When she said, and why did you choose me to open up to? I'm like, you had to slip it in, right? You had to figure out how you're so amazing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God.
It's just funny because you're preaching to the choir. Like, I've been dealing with her backlash for a long time, and you know,
well, you don't deserve it, Jay. You really don't. And I think
you
it's
really
cool
don't,
what she
Jay.
does. And I do have to tell you that a lot of people in her room do not agree with her. They remain very quiet.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the same 5 people that pipe up, and she polishes her nails on their forehead and says, "Oh, thank you," and pets them all. And you know, every once in a while she throws them a bone with "Love you, hon," and they all just get so giddy. But the majority of the people are in there for the spec group, and they're good people, and they listen to your channel, and they subscribe to you. And it makes her insane, but it happens all the time. And then they seek them out, and then they post it up on the thing, don't they?
Yeah.
Michelle knows. They post it up in there. You want to answer to this, and they call somebody out, and then the name is blacked out, so you know they've been kicked out or they left. And it's just humiliating. It's like she's a sadomasochist. She enjoys hurting these people, and it's rude, and I don't like it. So I'm glad that I got through.
She is she's rude. Yeah.
Well, you're not.
And that's what
it's been said.
And you know, that was what, thank you for that. But that was what happened. That's what made me just finally just be done with the podcast altogether. I've explained it a few times. But you know, it was just like enough was enough. Like, she started drinking more, and I had to edit more out. And then the last time when she went off on me and accused me of selling the information that was in the last podcast to the Daily Mail, I mean, straight up accused me. He called me an asshole, said I just ruined her relationship with the Watts family. I mean, just went off on me. And I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done.
Right.
Like, and when I'm done, I'm done.
One of Shanann's friends was in the room and did a live interview. And then after she did her second interview with her, I forget her name. She was a really nice girl.
Probably Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren. And then Lauren left the group and everybody's like, where'd Lauren go? And she goes, oh, she just felt it was better if she just stayed away from the group. And I'm thinking, no, you probably pissed her off.
Yeah.
You probably got her in a lot of trouble.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And it was horrible. It was, she's an opportunist. Like what you did with this lady tonight, you probably got her help.
I hope so.
You probably genuinely got her help. If that was them at the West Virginia Social Security office, can you imagine? You just earned your wings.
Yeah.
You know, you're not an opportunist. You're not trying to make money off these people or this tragedy or flip flop. And I'm sorry, you really do get a bum rap. And so I'm going to start posting that because I'm a blogger. So it just ticks me off.
Well, thanks. But you know what? The people who matter to me are the ones that are here. The ones that, you know, come back because they like the true crime. They like, you know, I have had other missing people's family members on here and they like trying to help. And what can we do? And, you know, and these are people that dig on the internet, like deep. So these are the kind of people you want on your side, but these are the people that keep coming back. And I mean, even when we have just an open chat, they come back.
Yeah, they do. And they like intelligent conversation peppered with humor, not insults.
Yeah, I have a different approach. I have a way different approach than she does. Yeah.
Well, you don't come at people like gangbusters.
I don't have that confrontational personality.
No. Yeah, it's just, I don't see it as being, I mean, who wants to fight all the time?
No
one.
No one does.
It's like calling out Lemonade, calling out Rebecca W., calling out Mary Marlowe, calling out, you know, Jay. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you picking fights?
Because that's how you stay relevant. That's how you stay relevant. And that's how she's getting her Patreons. She likes people like
True.
She like the dirt.
True.
You know, the people that really want to know what's going on. I mean, if I could, do you mind if I talk about the Watts case for a second?
No, go ahead.
Okay. There's so many inconsistencies with all three of those confessions. I think if you take a little bit of part 1, 2, and 3, you'll find the true story. But I keep going back to those text messages.
Yes.
Leading up to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He doesn't, I just don't, I call it cognitive dissonance. I don't want to wrap my brain around it. It's too heinous to. I don't see him that way. And if somebody says to me, oh, would he have a crush on Chris? No, I don't. I'm 54 years old. All right. He could be my son. No. My thing is, as much as you can't see Shanann doing it, I can't see him doing it either, despite putting him in the thing. I mean, how do we know he wasn't in shock?
Right.
You know what I mean, I have too many questions, and I don't want to get battered because I asked them.
That's how I am.
Battered.
You know, seriously.
Right.
It is that bad, though, isn't it?
It's horrendous. When people are going off on Cindy Watts, I'm like, okay, I understand. She is not.
Had a video about Cindy Watts, and I don't ever deny that.
Right.
Well, no, but as more became clear, see, that's the thing with true crime. You know, we're emotionally invested. This was an emotional case. Everybody was like, this could happen to anyone. They were married 8 years. All of a sudden, he's psychotic. Like, this is odd.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it hit so close to home for everybody, because we were kind of like, you kind of roll over and look at your man going, maybe you should sleep downstairs.
Yeah, it makes you rethink stuff, huh?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It does.
This case, okay, number one, all right, I'm a loser. I'll admit it. Shanann got me to get my pantry in order. I'll be honest.
I love it.
Okay. So she inspired me to get my pantry in
Dude,
order.
I wish I could be half as organized as she was.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't know if I should admire it or like get her some OCD meds, because I was like, nobody can keep a house that clean. Like, that would make me insane. But I've done it now for a while, and I'm really proud of myself. But another thing, I checked myself at the door. Do I talk to my partner that way?
Right.
Do I do this?
Yes.
Do I check in with him and ask him his opinion? I can't profess to know them.
Doesn't it make you also look at other people's relationships?
It
does.
People that that kind of have the dominant female and the quiet
Yes.
I
husband.
have 3 daughters, and all 3 of them are friggin' bullies, and all their men have their balls in my daughter's purse. And I'm like, all right, look, you guys need to get your balls out of my daughter's purse. And I tell my daughters all the time, you need to be softer. Like, what is wrong with you? Let him be a man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
that's one thing I've always, even, going out on couples dates where we have friends that are other, married couples or engaged or dating or whatever. And the female acts that way towards the male, where it's really quite embarrassing to the man. I get embarrassed for him. Like, oh my gosh, yikes, that was a little
yeah.
This whole case just, from one confession to another, it's been like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and it's only been a freaking year.
Yeah.
And my birthday is August 13th. So I was like, what?
Oh gosh.
The hell?
Yeah.
And, like with Scott Peterson, I looked at this when I saw the Porch interview and went, oh, dude, you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you see into people's lives, and I almost feel like I'm invading somebody's privacy. I really, it's a lot, and it hurts my heart. And like seeing her bedside drawer and her clothes she was wearing, pictures of his hands.
It's very intrusive. Yeah.
It's so intrusive. And it was very sad to me. And when I think of Bella, like it just destroys me. Here's another thing that stood out to me. Cece's a firecracker. That little girl is insanely all over the place.
Right.
And from the first confession to the third, he never mentions that she said anything. All he said, she whimpered. According to Cato's book, she whimpered. But I don't see that in Cece. I see Bella whimpering and maybe protecting her little sister, but I almost feel like Cece was gone.
Right. Right.
Does anybody else feel that way?
Yeah, because I cannot imagine that Celeste would just be okay with what was going on in the house. I mean, I just can't, no, you're right. I agree with you. And I think the part that frustrates me the most in regard to the case is we have been invested in this case for over a year now, and we just want, pardon me, but we just want some damn answers, Chris. We just want some answers.
Oh my God, he's driving everybody crazy. But
I mean, okay, so what? She got home at 2:30 in the morning, right?
Like 1:58, something like that.
Okay, 1:58. So she got home at approximately 2 a.m. He pulled out of the driveway at what, 6 something?
Yeah, like close to 6.
Close to 6. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll give 4 hours. 4 hours, Chris. 4 hours. Could we please just get some answers in what happened in those 4 hours?
And does anybody else blame the cops? Anybody else blame? How has he gotten off on no details? This guy can't tell a story to save his life. Like, Jay, if you were to ask me, so what did you have for dinner? I'd say, well, I went to the store and I had lemons and I had this. No, he's like, I woke up, we had a talk, I killed her.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
right.
wow, that was fast. Like,
I don't mean to laugh, but that's exactly what it's like.
It is. And nobody presses this guy. Nobody says, did she throw anything at you? Was she standing? Was she in the bed?
But you know what, you guys? A lot of men are like that, though. They're not big detail givers. So when they are asked something, they're pretty simple with their answer. Like they skip over the whole story part and just kind of tell you, this is the end result.
Right.
Yeah, but
so you got to take that into consideration, too.
I do. But with all due respect, I'm not asking him if he ate the last bag of Cheetos. I'm asking him if he killed his wife.
Right.
Law enforcement should be still getting some details. It doesn't matter if that's how he answers. They should be going, okay, look. And I could see them exhausted. They were like, okay, this guy is killing us. 5 hours for him to go, I don't know where they are.
Right.
But he looked traumatized to me, too. So these are, look, I am not Team Chris. I am not Team Shanann. I am Team Truth. I want to know what happened.
And I want justice for the kids.
All of them.
For Bella and Cece and Nico. That's where my quest for the truth comes from, is justice for them. Because I don't know about anybody else. Me personally, Michael Rourke, I have no use for that guy at all. None.
I'm sorry.
Shady.
This conversation's ticking people off. I'm sorry, Jay.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry, Soul. Okay.
No,
you're fine, you guys. We're just
okay.
Well, I think we're getting
to open up old wounds. These are just questions that I had that the book didn't answer. His letters didn't answer.
And this is what I want to ask you guys. I, of course, want all of the answers to all of the questions you guys just talked about. However, at this point, will you ever believe 100% anything this man says?
No.
So
no.
So you're right. So it's kind of redundant.
It is, but it drives us nuts at the same time. You know,
the only way that I will believe it is if two things: they hook him up to another polygraph, or they hypnotize him.
I don't know. Can a sociopath be hypnotized? Has he been labeled a sociopath?
I don't think he's been labeled anything. He hasn't had any mental health evaluation.
I don't think he's crazy. I don't think he's crazy. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I fell in love with both of them. You know, I looked at both of them and I was just like, I loved everything about that family. So it's hard.
Right. I mean, I even tried Thrive because of Shanann. I'm like, wow.
You guys, can I say something without you taking offense to it? Because I don't want this to come out the wrong way. But I think that a lot of us have gotten very emotionally invested.
Yeah.
To the point where we feel like we knew them. And I'm not saying just you two. I mean, myself too. I mean,
right.
But it's to where you feel like you knew them. And now we have people taking these sides like they're picking a team.
Right.
Yeah.
And going against each other like they're family. It's like they're acting like you're attacking their own family. I mean, I get like standing up for the victims, but this is a weird dynamic I've never seen.
I've never seen it either.
But again, I think it all comes down to, like I said, I have 3 daughters. My oldest is getting married in September. And I look at her husband, who's very meek and passive. And I always wonder, like, this case is scared the ever loving out of me, you know? So it hits really close to home.
But you know what? You have to step out of that emotional realm, I think, a little bit. And you have to look and say, okay, there's a lot of people that are meek and mild and laid back, and they don't kill anybody, you know. But there's also people who are very outgoing that kill people. or that kill their
Yeah.
wife, or I don't know if
Right.
it's necessarily, and I think a lot of things that I've come to a conclusion on, different things I've thought about is it really his personality that exposes who he is? Like, we sit back and say, oh, you got to look at those quiet ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But is it really, does it have anything to do with that?
I don't know, because I'm very introverted. I am a very introverted person. Now, outside of my church, like when we go to church, because our church is huge, you would never know it. When we go to functions outside, I mean, I could take my kids to the corn maze and the, pumpkin picking, and you would never know it. But my comfort zone, what people don't realize is going to those things, it's exhausting for me.
Yeah.
So when I get home, I have to be by myself to recharge. And I am just a very introvert. I'm still fun. I'm not just a stick in the mud. But I am very introverted, and I can sit. Like when the kids are at school, I could sit all day long and clean up around my house and not speak to anybody all day long and be just fine. So I get what
But
you're saying. Like,
is he really an introvert though? I mean, he seems to like the limelight lately.
Well, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
that's true.
Is he really as quiet and shy as we all thought? We don't know him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have no
Yeah.
idea who this guy is, what he was like.
And
I'll
to
tell
go
you
by their text messages and stuff, like I said, feeling invasive, like I'm invading their privacy.
Yeah.
If you looked at my text messages about my mother-in-law at times, it would look really bad too. People have their
Right.
fights and stuff, and I think that they're being they're under a microscope so much that they're being blown into this huge thing that it was probably bad when they went through it, but people are almost like fixated on it. You know what I mean? And blaming Cindy or Sandy or whomever. And it's like, just stop.
Yeah. Right. It's for when this first happened, back in 2004, I served on a jury. It was a triple murder trial, and the crime happened in Deltona, Florida. If anybody wants to look it up, it was called the Xbox murder trial. And what it was these 4 people broke into this house, and they literally slaughtered 5 people, including one of those weenie dogs, to death. Beat them with baseball bats, cut them, slaughtered. There was blood everywhere. And I got called for jury duty because the case, I was in St. Augustine at the time because that's where I went to college. And the crime happened in Deltona, but they moved it. They moved the case because of, it was a small town, and all eyes were on this case. And there were people that were related. They were cousins or aunts or uncles or whatnot. So it got transferred to St. Augustine. So for 6 weeks, I had to sit there and I had to look at pictures. And I don't mean 8x10 pictures. I mean poster board size pictures of these people that had been brutally murdered. When they went in to the house because they worked at Burger King, and when they didn't show up for work and nobody could get a hold of them, of course, they started calling the police. And when they got there, there was so much blood, and they were beaten so badly, they were pretty much unrecognizable. One of the girls hid in a closet, and had she have not moved, she probably would be here today. But it just so happened when one of the guys was in the bedroom, he heard her in the closet and found her, and the dog was in there with her. And that's how he ended up, I mean, just brutally murdering these people and the dog.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it was. And here's the thing about, I know with my mind, you know, I wasn't, it was traumatizing to have to see all that and to see the boots that the guy's name was Troy Victorino, that kicked in the front door. I mean, they had those boots as evidence. And in the courtroom, when you're passing evidence, you know, through the jury box of something like that, it's traumatizing. But I made it through. We ended up getting sequestered, and because, you know, we went over in our deliberations. But anyways, on a day-to-day basis, to our mind, I don't think about that jury. I don't think about serving on that jury. It's not, unless there is something that triggers my memory, I don't think about it. And so it's interesting how our mind can do that, how our mind can suppress things. And I often wonder if that's like part of what is going on with Chris, where he's in prison. He doesn't have a whole lot of contact. He's not, you know, his wife is no longer here. His children are no longer here. He's not.
I've kind of thought that myself too. Like, does he even know what he did, like, exactly at this point, you know? Or is it blocked out? Because, like, our minds will block out trauma like that, you know?
Absolutely.
But he will slowly, his mind will release more and more if that's the case.
Right. So the two things that I have taken from that was, I tried to look at this case from like a juror's perspective and not allow myself to get emotionally involved in it. And then when Chris started, you know, just talking this, whatever he's saying, I started to look at it from also when I was a juror, because I know what I have been able to do, and I wasn't, it was traumatizing to sit in the courtroom, but I wasn't even part of a crime. Like, it's my trauma is just from being in that courtroom and seeing the pictures and the evidence and, you know, the baseball bat and all that. So those are two things that I have kind of taken away from this thing. And I don't know if we'll ever know, you know, unless somebody that is extremely skilled, psychiatrist, psychologist, whomever it may be, gets in there and is able to get into Chris's head. I don't know if we'll ever know what truly happened in those close to approximately 4 hours of that morning.
I think there'll be a fourth confession.
I think that we'll get bits and pieces, because let's face it, that's not the last book to be written. So I think, you know, there's just like his interview up on the porch, I think there was some truth in his lies, and I think that there's some truth in all the different confessions, you know,
all the different versions. Well, I await the next confession.
Well, it just seems like when this case starts to like kind of wind down, all of a sudden, bam. Yeah. There it is, broken wide open again.
It has to be torture for all the people that know them. Just
it really does.
It's going to open a wound that's awful.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what? To me, this case is no different than me following, any other case other than
Right.
I've spoken to Jamie, the,
Yeah.
the accused sister. But other than that, I can step out of my emotions. I mean, somewhat, not completely,
Yeah.
but somewhat. And I can look at this, even though I've seen more of their lives than any other case I've ever seen. I've seen more of their lives and more of their, we know the inside of their house, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still look at this as a case. This isn't my sister.
Right.
This isn't my brother. This is people I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I think we have to keep that in mind as well, that we really don't
agree.
know them. We can
I
hear
agree with
stories
that.
about them. We can hear things they said on their videos, but we really don't know them.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do. I
think
absolutely
we
agree with
all
you.
have this impression of who they were.
Yes.
But I don't think we really truly know what kind of people they were.
And isn't that what
Right.
everybody's fighting about? Isn't that the thing? Because
Yes.
I can look at something and you can look at something and we can see completely different things.
Yes.
Yes.
It's all through
Definitely.
the eye. It's who's your perception of it.
It's crazy.
Which,
Yes.
whatever trigger you have, whatever insecurities you have, will really bring them out.
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah.
things you notice. The
Right.
things
If
you
something
notice.
really bothers you, you might have been cheated on. You know what I mean? It's all a
Right.
personal feeling towards any case.
It's
not just
so
this one.
bizarre, yeah. But this
It
one
is.
is like, your younger couple with little kids. I mean, so many people can relate.
Yeah, pregnant, family vacations. Everybody's on a budget. We've all struggled.
Right.
It hits home.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
have a question. It's like, not a question, but I'm terrified of color. Like, I get gray walls. I have like the earth tone furniture, but this made me bust out with, you know what? I need more color in my house. And my mother would say to me, you know what? All these things that's going on with this case, and that's what you're looking at. I go, I think I'm looking at that because looking at everything else hurts too much.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah.
sad.
Right.
It's too real. Yeah, it's too
It
real.
is.
It is. It is way
How
too
many
real.
Chris and Shananns do you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
everybody in my neighborhood is a
Yeah.
Chris and a Shan.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody at my church. I mean, all of everybody in my small groups. Every other couple that we know is a Chris and Shanann. It's you just
Yeah, they're
never
very
know
typical,
because-
very typical couple.
Yeah.
And that's
they are.
like the butlers
I
got our
don't-
attention because they were all on they were going and doing their thing, and look what
Yes.
happened. All these,
Right.
everything is just so horrible lately. And then I forget her name. I'm so sorry, it escapes me. The sugar daddy, the Tinder date. What was her name?
Oh, Chrissy R in my chat. She had all the docs on that case. Chelsea? Is it Chelsea?
Yeah, I forget what it is.
Christy? Chelsea?
But that was all hitting. Like, we had all these things going on, and it was like my head was spinning. And I'm into true crime, but it was like, this is just sad now.
Oh, Mackenzie. Mackenzie. I don't know why I thought
That's
Chelsea.
right.
Yeah, her name was
Yeah,
Mackenzie.
It's getting pretty. And maybe it's not so much that I'm an introvert. It's just I like my bubble because I'm safe in my bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go walking the streets late at night. I don't go.
You're not a risk taker.
Yeah, I'm not.
What's your sign, Stephanie?
Gemini.
You're a Gemini?
Yeah, I'm a
You know what I
crazy
am?
one.
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh,
Are you really?
Yeah, it's Scorpio season right now. Scorpios are very complex creatures.
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
My
Yeah,
daughter,
Jim.
my daughter is big time into astrology and stuff, so she always tells me
I
you're
know.
you're a typical Scorpio, Mom.
Well, I know with Geminis, I will even tell you because I do not have too much pride to say if you don't like my personality right now, give it 10 minutes and I'll have a completely different one.
And that's
Just,
because you're the sign of
hold
the
tight.
twin. Gemini has a twin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Scorpios.
And,
they just,
Someone said Scorpios are mean. Scorpios
Yes.
aren't mean.
when
Scorpios
you're
are the
backed
most.
into a corner.
They are the most loyal people that you'll
Yeah.
ever meet.
It also
And-
depends on your moon too.
Yes,
Where your moon and your
right.
rising sign is can really mellow you out. Like
Yeah.
I'm a Leo, but I have a Libra moon.
I'm a
and an
pretty
Aquarius
intense
rising.
Scorpio. I'm a pretty intense Scorpio. Passionate.
see, I've always, yeah.
Passionate, loyal, jealousy.
Yeah.
I feel all of those things. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
That's
lie.
what-
But then on the other
You're strongly
hand,
empathic.
but on the other hand, a Scorpio is very, is one of the most passionate, like they'll get deep with you,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
My daughter is
And-
a Scorpio, and I call her the house cat. You can't pet her or go near her, but she'll run in between your legs and like be sweet to you. But you just have to let her do that,
yeah.
because if I reach over to try and pet her, she'll claw me to death.
Uh-huh.
But,
But
right.
she's very deep. Like she'll get into these deep discussions about like parallel universes, and I just stare at her like, "Did you smoke some of my weed? Like, what's wrong with you?" And she's
Well,
very
that's-
deep and highly intelligent.
That's what they say about Gemini too, and this is true, is that we're extremely empathetic and we're kind until you cross us, and especially when you cross us when it relates to somebody that we love or care about.
You're grudge holders.
And then then we will fight to the death to defend the people that we love. And that's true. I mean, for me, at least in my personality, I don't know, but that's what I have read about Gemini. That's what it says, and it is true. I do. I mean, because I consider my friends, like, they aren't just my friends; they're my family.
Yeah.
And I do. When I love with my whole heart until you piss me off, and then it's a little bit different there.
And the older you get, you
but-
become your rising sign. So it's like,
yeah.
right across from me is Aquarius, and the older I get, I see more Aquarius in me. I get really almost like I have ADD, and I'm distracted by like an ice cream truck or something. And I used to be focused, and I'm not anymore.
Right.
I think it's age.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm just gonna blame everything on age.
Yeah, because I'm 38 and I have got my
You're
three that are-
young. Come on.
Are you? I'm the oldest one
my
in the room.
kids.
You are not.
They keep me young. Having an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old that are boys, and they are all boy. And then my 4-year-old is a girl, and she's as tough as nails because she has to be, having 2 older brothers. I'm telling you, these three, and I'm an only child. So
I'm an only child too.
This like sibling stuff that
You
they
don't
have
get it,
going
do
on,
you?
I don't get it.
No.
I'm like, I mean, they are absolutely best friends. Like, don't even look at my brother or I'm going to beat you up, to beating each other up. And I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Stop it. I don't get it. I'm like, y'all are weird. You're going to have to figure that one out on your own. Just don't draw blood. That's all I care about. Don't draw blood.
I feel like a bad mother because my kids fight over hairbrushes and stuff, and I just can't figure out why. I just stare at it. I never had that argument, so I don't even know how to fix that one. That's ridiculous.
Right. Yes. Mine are over.
I had 4
they'll
kids.
argue. Oh, yeah. It's like they'll argue over cups that are the same color. Bowls.
Same color, same cup, same everything. That one has
and
that one is tilted better. I'm like, you know what? I throw it on the ground and step on it and tilt it. There. Now they match. I'm not having this argument with
It
you.
is right. It is the craziest
Never
thing
argue
I've
with your
ever
kids.
seen.
No, I
Never.
don't. I don't win.
No,
Yeah.
don't even put
jelly
yourself on that
bottom.
level. Don't even put yourself
No.
on that level.
No, I'll go back to the spec room if I want that shit. Sorry, I had to throw that one in.
Right.
It was
Oh,
really
good
nice
night,
talking
Cubby.
with you ladies.
Oh, it was nice talking
It
with you
was
guys.
nice,
We're gonna have to
yeah.
do
was
it
nice
again.
talking with y'all.
Okay.
Jay, I hope that we didn't lose a whole bunch of people.
No,
I
you
know,
guys,
I'm sorry.
dude, you guys were entertaining 300 people that whole
Okay,
time.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Okay, good.
No,
And I
you were.
hope, you know,
No,
I
I
hope
like
none
these
of 'em were
discussions,
like-
man. I'm cool with open
Okay.
discussion. I don't care. Call
Yeah.
me, call me, and talk about anything. I mean, that's what it's all about.
awesome.
Well,
Yes,
I'm really glad I got a chance to
awesome.
touch base with you. You're pretty cool, and
Yes, yes.
Well, thanks,
And
guys.
nice. I
Channel.
like this.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Jay.
Aw,
Yeah,
thanks,
thank
guys.
you for having a,
you
a
never
forgiving
offended me.
spirit too.
Thanks.
You. All right.
Hey, you
Y'all
guys have a
good
great
night.
weekend.
All right, you
Okay,
too.
y'all too.
Y'all
Okay.
too.
All right. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. I am out. It's 2 a.m. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for calling in, Will. And Stephanie and Lisa and Rose. And I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Good night. Well, Glare, you're gonna have to go on tomorrow night then. I'm gonna get my 3 hours right now, Chrissy. Oh, Lisa, you were great. All right, well, I guess I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully maybe tomorrow. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to go back to the live before this, we talked with Tammy of the Tammy and Chad page. Bring home Tammy and Chad. We talked to her mom. I just totally tripped over my words. I'm too tired. Just go listen to the last live. I'll talk to you guys later. Love ya.